What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 111, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Jason Davidson has made a request to play in the next game, and also that Salvio wants to play in this game as well, which is against Tottenham Hotspur here at the Hawthorns in the Barclays Premier League. And of course, we're in mid-December right now, and a lot of football gets played in December, lots of midweek games, and as you can see, my team did revert back to one of its strongest first 11s after the disappointing draw away at Swansea on the weekend. With this game being played midweek, not everyone was fully fit for it, so there was only one change from our usual first 11, and that was Sane getting dropped to the bench and Mauricio coming in. Now, I'd sit there and tell you that I dropped him primarily because he lost out that aerial battle to Leon Britton, a player who's a foot smaller than him, which ended up costing us a goal, but instead he was just a little bit tired, so I thought I'd bring in Mauricio instead. And Spurs' lineup as well, as you can see, there were some alterations to what you predict is their first 11. Hall at centre-back, Stambouli coming in, Alex Pritchard on the left flank, players who aren't usually in the first 11. Michel Vorm starting 2, although Hugo Lloris has actually been sold on the game, and they haven't replaced their goalkeeper with anyone, so they're using Vorm. But still, a strong side for Spurs, but I thought my side was better, to be honest. I wanted to put the disappointing draw against Swansea behind us. We were winning this game, and the first chance would fall to us in the 3rd minute. Jordan Henderson playing a great ball over the top, and Niang's half volley going just over the bar and out for a goal kick. So still scoreless, but in the 29th minute, Henderson wins the ball back again here and finds Savanier. Quick time fake shot, ball over the top towards Niang, and his first half volley with his left foot went over the bar, but this time he kept it down and put it in. So very good finish by Niang there on his weaker foot, his 4-star weaker foot to be fair, but even so, lovely ball by Savanier over the top, and Niang takes his time, shoots and scores and makes it 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion. Although I have to say, I thought Michel Vorm probably should have saved it. I mean, I would have expected, Lloris, for example, if he was still at Spurs, to make that save. It's pretty much straight at him, and he seems to put his hands up, and the ball seems to hit his left elbow and creep into the back of the net. I think it's a good finish by Niang. It's a difficult ball to control and shoot with, but even so, I think Vorm should be disappointed with that one. But still 1-0 to us, and Niang getting the goal. And in the 40th minute here, Spurs come forward with Stambouli taking the ball over the halfway line. He picks out Paulinho into Alex Pritchard here. Pritchard finds Stambouli, good ball inside to Harry Kane, and Kane is denied by a very good save by Joe Hart, who keeps it at 1-0. So very good football by Spurs, but no goal to show for it. And in the 45th minute, Paulinho's on the ball, rise to challenge Zambrano. Again, really nice football, but the shot by Eriksson goes over and out for a goal kick. So still 1-0, and in the second half here, just 3 minutes after the restart, again Spurs are on the ball, Paulinho into Kane, and you could see their football was really good. They were passing the ball around nicely and exploiting the gaps in my defence, but Joe Hart was making the saves every single time the shot was on target. But as you'll see here, a lovely ball gets played forward towards Niang in the 63rd minute. He goes through and takes the ball round Hall, and he ends up getting pushed to the floor and wins us a free kick here in the 63rd minute. So a storming run by Niang and a free kick to us. And from the free kick, Niang stands over it. He ends up taking it himself and finds the back of the net as well and makes it 2-0. So it's a second free kick goal for West Bromwich Albion through Niang. His free kick stats aren't the best, but I do like him to take him because, I don't know, I just really like using Niang because he's one of those players where his attributes seem to lie. I mean, he's so good. The amount of goals he scores is crazy. And, his free kick stats aren't the best. I think his free kick stats is like 61, 62. But it's like every single time I'm using the guy and going forward in front of goal, I always feel confident, and it's one of those players, where I always feel like every single time I put him on the pitch, he's gonna perform. And with 2 goals in this game already, putting in a very good display, he was proving it. He's like a jack of all trades, yet instead of being a master of none, he's a master of everything. He's absolutely crazy. But still, he makes it West Bromwich Albion 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0 there. It's his 15th goal in the Premier League so far. We haven't even played half of the season. It's ridiculous how good this guy is, but still 2-0. And in the 73rd minute here, Jordan Henderson on the ball for us here, a very good chance. He chips it over the top towards Lacazette, who takes the ball around Yunus Kabul and shoots, but Vorm makes the save, and Spurs manage to get the ball away. And a few minutes later here, you'll see us regain possession of the ball as Kyle Walker finds Mauricio to Ricardo Rodriguez. And after we got our second goal, Spurs, the pretty football they were playing had just basically faded away, and they couldn't string 2 passes together, to be honest. And we were capitalising, playing some very nice football ourselves, as Wilfried Zaha off the bench also finds Saido Berahino off the bench. He picks out Henderson, he finds Savanier, and his shot is simply saved by Vorm and cleared away. That would have been a lovely goal there to wrap the game off. But a 2-0 victory was how the game would finish as well. So glad glad to get our first clean sheet in 3 and most importantly return to winning ways after the disappointing 1-1 draw away in Wales against Swansea. And yeah, a thoroughly deserving victory. I think Spurs did have quite a few chances themselves. Hart had to make a couple of good saves, but in the end we did play some good football ourselves. Scored a couple of nice goals with Niang, and that is how the game would finish. So another 3 points and we keep on going in the league. We are just, it's been a fantastic first half, it really has. And the more we continue with this these displays more than anything just goes to show you how good this team is now. And it is as you saw an international management offer from Romania there, which we turned down. It is one of those things where I wonder to myself sometimes, I think, just how good is this West Bromwich Albion side, because obviously there is no star rating for your team anymore. You can't see how your team is rated in terms of star rating, but it's like there are so many good players in this team, and even when we are making changes, for example for this game against Cardiff, you'll see Sane came back in, Creswell came in, Morrison came in, Zaha came in, and Carroll and Berahino started together. I still look at the team and think, do you know what? That is perfectly fine. Like, that's a totally really strong team. All of those players are in the mid to high 70s, and Carroll obviously an 80, and they're really good players. I'm not worried at all if we have to make changes. And if we do take on Cardiff here, the Welsh side travelling to take us on at a snowy Hawthorns, it just goes to show you that the squad progression we've had, we've mentioned it a couple times this season, is really, really good. And you just have to say, like, even if we do leave West Brom at some stage, which I know some of you want, not everyone, I think that most of you want me to stay here, at least for the time being, but if we do end up leaving West Brom, we have left them with a very powerful team. There's no denying that. But still, we take on Cardiff for the second game of today's episode, and the first chance fell here in the 8th minute as Saido Berahino crosses the ball in, and Andy Carroll almost opens the scoring there. His header going just over the bar and behind, although it did go out for a corner, and from the corner it's crossed into the box towards Sane. He loses out in the air again, and it comes to Zambrano, who shoots, but the shot is well saved by David Marshall. Very good hands as well to keep hold of that shot, and keeps it at 0-0. In the 26th minute though, Kyle Walker plays a great through ball into Saido Berahino, but again we are denied by the goalkeeper Marshall. Very good save there. Usually Berahino would finish those chances every single time, but a very good stop, and it's still scoreless. But in the 64th minute, Berahino's on the ball, fake shots around Morrison here, and plays a free ball into Andy Carroll. He tries to fake shot around Turner and gets tackled. It comes back to Berahino. As you'll see here, he picks out Carrillo, who crosses the ball in. Andy Carroll wins the header, and again we are denied as Carroll goes up for an aerial battle by a deflected block, and he goes out for another corner. Carrillo crosses the ball towards Sane. It's headed away. Comes to Henderson. He picks out Ravel Morrison. Creswell then shoots. It's blocked. Morrison then goes for a header and misses it, but it goes straight back to him. And Ravel Morrison, who's actually on loan at Cardiff right now in real life, scores the goal and makes it West Brom 1, Cardiff 0. So Ravel Morrison gets the goal. He hasn't done too much since arriving, to be honest. He's been okay, but granted he is a sort of a bench player really, but he does get quite a lot of games. Doesn't do too much for us, but he gets himself a goal here and makes it West Brom 1, Cardiff 0. And you'll see as well, he goes up for a header with a Cardiff defender there, and it just basically bounces on the snowy turf, goes high up in the air, and it sets himself up for another header. That's why playing in the snow is so funny sometimes, because of how big the bounces can be. But yeah, Morrison gets his first goal in the Premier League for us, his second overall, and it's West Brom 1, Cardiff 0. And in stoppage time here, the Welsh side tried to get themselves an equalising goal. Federico Makeda's shot was well saved by Joe Hart though, but in the end the offside flag was actually raised. But still, the final score did finish as a 1-0 victory, so again we get ourselves the win, 2 clean sheets in a row. Very nice to see, but to be honest I was quite disappointed we didn't do as much as I expected. I thought we would have had more goals in that game. That's no disrespect to Cardiff, but they are sitting right down the bottom end of the table, so I would have expected a few goals more here and there, not to just win it by a single goal. But there was a lot of changes to the side, so I guess you got to legislate for that as well. And following that, we saw Lacazette is not happy. His role at the club, he's been speaking with his agent, and he's helped him realise that his role at the club is not the one he was offered in the contract. And I was like, well, it kind of is. I mean, you played 90% of the games, you just missed a couple here and there, like that game against Cardiff, because you were really tired, let's be honest. And as you'll see as well, we had some contracts up at the end of the year. Kim Seung-yu wants to leave, as does Saido Berahino, so we offered them new contracts. Because they are over the age of 23, they can leave in the January transfer window to go to a new club if they so wish to do so on a free transfer. Don't want to see any of them leave, either of them leave, because even though Kim is a backup goalkeeper and he'll be easy enough to replace, even though Berahino is a 4th choice striker, he's easy enough to replace. Berahino obviously has been at the club since we came in, so I want to keep him here. And Kim is a good backup goalkeeper, to be fair. He rarely does complain, and he's a decent backup goalkeeper to have, but he did say he's going to turn this one down. So if he leaves, fair enough, he's going to be easy to replace. We'll have to to wait and see. Although I did find it funny in his player profile, he says that he feels the team is underperforming. I'm not sure what other team he could go to where he feels like they'll be performing better than us, because we are having a fantastic season. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.